So we all know this fragrance right here, Amouage Outlands, has been one of the most spoken about and one of the most popular niche fragrances of 2025. And recently the brand have released not one, not two, but three new fragrances to this same collection. I picked up one of them and I'm going to tell you how it compares up against Amouage Outlands. Yes people, what is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's TJ, and over here on this channel I discuss all things fragrances and the fragrance industry. So if there's any content, anything at all that you'd like for me to create, let me know down in the comments. Now you lot are probably going to be bored if I talk about this for even 5 seconds, but this is Amouage Outlands. One of the most popular, like I mentioned in the intro, and it is a very polarizing, unique fragrance in my opinion. And recently, I feel like the brand have seen that line, especially Outlands, has got a lot of hype from the fragrance community, and a lot of people have been going out and buying it, which is what I've been told. So they released another few fragrances and they come in this bottle, and I mentioned in my previous Amouage Outlands video, which I'll pin up there or there, that they have a different aging process from this. And brands call fragrances EDT, EDP, all of that. They're calling these ones Essences de Parfum because they're technically, what they say is these fragrances age for longer in an oak wood barrel with these chips or something. So it makes the smell a little bit more intense, a little bit stronger, and that much deeper. Now I've picked up this fragrance right here, which is Amouage Sequence. And this fragrance, along with the other two, are exclusive to Dubai duty free. So it's not in the boutiques yet. You can't order it online or anything like that. But I picked up Sequence. There was also another two beside it. One was called Line 618 and one was also called Remain. I went over to test them at the airport, and bro, it was a nightmare testing them because the staff working, it was just on my case, like, which one do you want to buy? I'm like, bro, let me just test these fragrances, shit, man. But Line 618 to me, I think, if I remember correctly, this was just like a typical Amouage fragrance, full of frankincense, a little bit spicy, nothing crazy to make me go and spend my money on it. Then Remain, it was close whether I was going to get Remain or this, because Remain did smell nice, but it didn't really stand out enough as this one here, Sequence. And I know a lot of you might have heard of another fragrance that they've added, which is also to the Essences collection. I wanted to try it. It is called Sinbad, and it's got like a funky label on the front. That one is exclusive to Oman, and Amouage only released 1,000 bottles, and apparently they're sold out. So I don't know if I ever get the chance to smell it. If any of you guys watching have got that bottle in your collection, I beg you, shout me. I'll pay for a little 2 ml sample just to test it. But the one I picked up was Sequence. And the reason why I picked this one up is just because it felt different from a lot of the Amouages. And I mentioned in my TikTok video, if you lined up this fragrance with another 4 Amouage fragrances and you had to pick which fragrance is not an Amouage, I think this is the one that most people would go for, because it doesn't smell like their typical DNA. It's not full of frankincense. It actually smells not gourmandy, but it has some gourmand qualities to it. I obviously flew back on Emirates and I was smelling my hand all throughout because I'd done 2 sprays at the airport. So about 4 or 5 hours later, I'm smelling my hand. And what I'm picking up is like cherry and oud. And it literally reminded me of Guerlain's cherry oud. And that's not a fragrance that I love per se. My mum loves that one, but I've worn it a few times. I took a sample out to Dubai when I went there for a month, and some days I enjoyed it and some days I hated it. It was hella weird, but this fragrance Sequence gave me that same kind of vibe. And then when I looked up the notes, I think it was lychee or lychee, there was raspberry in there was oud, I think there was patchouli. I'll pop the notes somewhere on the screen, but I kind of mistook that lychee and raspberry, that sweet berry that you get in here, for being cherry. And yeah, if any of you guys do like cherry in a fragrance, I would say you'll probably like the opening of this one because that's what it smells like. But where it kind of differs, I can't lie, it does smell very spicy in the opening, and I almost get something that's like a dark chocolate accord. I don't know if I'll get it in the air or not, but it smells like dark chocolate, cherry and oud. And the best thing about this fragrance for me, the dry down, because like I said, the opening can be a little bit harsh, but the dry down is so much smoother. That kind of cherry sweetness kind of fades away. And what I get is something quite nutty. I get like hazelnut mixed with like leather, and it's got something in the background that's a little bit powdery as well. It's one that when I'm smelling now, for some reason, it's reminded me of like autumn, winter, like actually like Christmas. Like when you go out walking through London, you stop off, you get a coffee, a little pumpkin spice latte, and then you're just having bare little sweet treats in the day, even a cherry bakewell or something. This is what this reminds me of, but way more intense, way more dark. And all of the fragrances in this Essence collection, including Outlands, the performance is insane, and it's no different with this one. I must have sprayed this on, my flight was at like 11 a.m. So that would be like 6 a.m. and I didn't get home till 9 p.m. So you're talking 13, 14 hours, if my maths is correct, I don't even know. But this was still on my skin calmly. And when I got in, I had a shower, woke up next morning, it still smelled faint on my skin. So you already know performance is solid. Now, Amouage Outlands, in the UK, this price is £355 for 100 ml, and it's the same for the rest of the line. However, because this is a Dubai exclusive, this is obviously better value for money, because when I paid with the exchange rate and all that stuff, it worked out as 295 or 96 pounds. So 60 pounds cheaper than this. So definitely better value for money. Do I think you guys need this fragrance? Obviously you don't need it. When they do release it worldwide, because I'm sure this will probably be in Harrods soon, I think that this one will probably get the most traction out of them all, because it has that kind of sweetness that people in the West kind of love. Cherry, nutty, woody, leather. People enjoy that. But do I think it's going to overtake something like Outlands in terms of popularity? Like 100%? Nah. And this isn't a fragrance that I would just throw on to go and run errands or go shopping and that. No way. This is one I'm going to put on when you literally want to fill a room. So if I'm going to an event or I'm going on a date, even though when I come back, my missus didn't really like this smell. So I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of it. But that's the kind of occasion I would wear it, because it is so strong and powerful. You don't want to be sitting on a train and pissing people off when you got the scent bubble around you and it's just moving mad. But it is a nice release from the brand. I think this is also made by Julian Raskine, which is a proper sick guy. I met him earlier this year, met him at Beauty World, spoke to him, proper sick. He made this one, and I think he made Luster as well. So check that one out, because that is underrated and doesn't get as much hype as Amouage Outlands. But I think it is a good release. Does it stand out as being like one of my favorites from Amouage? It doesn't. I would still pick things like Reflection Man or Jubilation 25 or 45, whatever it's called, over something like this. But again, if you like cherry fragrances, if you like Cherry Oud by Guerlain, then definitely get your nose on this when it's available. And probably by the time you're seeing this video, I'll have decants up on my website, tjtalkscents.com. So yeah, from the way I described this, do you think this sounds better than the glazed up Amouage Outlands? And when this becomes available in the UK, is this one you're going to go and pick up? Let me know down in the comments. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love for the love.